sur le bateau. Okay. Sorry about that,
Don't
Raphael.
apologize.
And hello, everyone. Happy Friday here in July, and lots of stuff going on tonight. We have Raphael Musni. Bonjour, bonsoir, buenas noches. Raphael is an actor, and I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you. I actually tell people that acting is my hobby job, but I do it as a job because that's how I measure the game. If I'm making more money than I'm spending on it and learning and having a good time at the same time. And I actually distinguish myself as a commercial actor. So San Francisco is the fourth largest city in the nation that has commercial work for actors, which makes it a very good opportunity for people who want to get into that business. They can work without being in the union, and there's lots of jobs. Well, I don't want to say lots of jobs, but there are many jobs that are going around.
Can you tell us what you mean by commercial?
Well, commercials is basically out of all the work that gets recorded for distribution. Movies is a small part, TV is a big part, and commercials, 17 minutes for every hour of television programming is set aside for commercials. So, and commercials have to constantly be done every quarter or even more often to get new products out, new services out. So commercials is what keeps most actors working.
Interesting. Wow, I didn't know that. Back to me. Hello. We had a caller call in before we started. I don't know if she wants to call again or what, but
So they just called in that number there. It's on the screen.
Yeah. By the way, it's a call-in show. Yes, indeed. 415-861-6648 is our number. And yeah, it's a call-in show, and we have lots of things planned anyway. So maybe Arafat. Hello, Jennifer. Why are we not moving? There we go. Yes, Arafat. Do you think we should go to your YouTube things first?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Sure, why not?
Speaking of commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I do have a channel on YouTube.
Oh, excuse me. There is someone calling now.
Well, let's see who that is.
Alrighty. Hello, you're on Planet Glee.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. I was just calling to ask a question to Raphael.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
Oopsie.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Who's calling?
This is Laura from the Bay Area.
Hi.
Laura and Brian and Victoria and Hanan.
Oh, hello. Yes, of course. Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. So what's your question?
My question is, I'd like to know what your next project is.
Well, you never know what your next project is. I did audition for 3 things, and they never tell you no. They just never call you again. But, it takes 21 auditions for each job that you get on average. However, I do have something. I just got into the cast for a show that's produced here locally called The Dinner Detective. The Dinner Detective. It happens, I believe, at least twice a month, which is available to the public. It is a dinner show. It's a murder mystery. Strange things are afoot. So I'll
wow,
probably
that sounds amazing.
Yes, I hope to be appearing in that at least next month.
Where would it be?
Well, there's an Embassy Suites in Oakland on Jack London Square.
Perfect.
So
I was just going to ask, where was it going to be?
You can look up dinnerdetective.com, I believe it is, and I'll be going to a show tomorrow night. I'm not in the cast, but I need to meet the host and whatnot. But no, I'm looking forward to that. It's an improvised but structured show. It's a lot of fun, I promise, because I've seen most of it. So that'll be my next project.
And you'll be posting it on Facebook as well?
Some information on Facebook. I'll post
Perfect.
information on Facebook about it. You never give away a murder mystery. You can't do that.
No, 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 no. Just your location and when it's going to
Yes.
be.
Yes, I'm going to put that up pretty soon.
Great. Well, I'm looking forward to it,
Well,
and I'm
thanks.
wishing you the best of luck.
Then thanks
And
for calling in. I appreciate it.
No problem. You have a great night and good luck today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye.
All right. That was wonderful. That was a wonderful question.
Yes, yes.
thedinerdetective.com.
Yes. Yes, I'll be putting up more information about it, but it's a lot of fun.
Sounds really cool.
So let's take a look at the reel. It was just like other performing arts, it is a community, and you have to go in there with the mindset of offering help and asking help. And it was another actor who works quite a bit that told me, Rafael, you need to put actor on your Facebook page. You need to get a YouTube page. You need to do the social marketing. Don't keep it a secret, which I had been doing because it's somewhat in my nature. If I'm not sure about something, I keep it a secret until I'm ready to reveal.
Mm-hmm.
But this video on my YouTube page, it's about the fourth video in, was my first big commercial job. That's the perfect one. That's just the right one. And that was produced for Intel.
Yeah.
Great.
Now we can talk about it.
Great.
It's on.
Yes.
If
So
I turn it on.
sure. And Intel does that to encourage programmers to come and get the software so that they create products. In this case, it's to encourage people to develop products for schools and learning environments. It was a great shoot. It was a lot of fun. 2 days in beautiful San Rafael. And that was like really my first big job. I was a little frightened because the screen behind me that you see in the video was a 40-foot long blank wall with tiny numbers written on it, where I had to like pretend to push buttons, digital buttons that were not there. So I just had to memorize all the positions.
Okay, let's see if we can bring it up. Should be this one. This one thing is one thing I didn't practice earlier. Sometimes, here it is. Yeah, this is what we're talking about.
That's
if
the
you're
one.
Wondering.
And that commercial I got as a result of my agency, Stars, the agency right here in San Francisco, over on Grant Street. I walked in with virtually no experience. I mean, I had a little experience doing anything, and they took me on. They started sending me out. They, just kept faith in me, so I kept going out, and finally I got some work.
And so this I don't think we can see the. Can we see this? Yeah, this is you right here.
That's
Teacher.
me. Yep.
And Stars Agency. What street is it on? Did you say?
It's on Grant.
Grant.
The cross street's Geary. They've been in business for several decades.
Grant and Geary.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, because you have also.
That's my page in Stars. Stars is a little bit like a family, so when I see other Stars talent on set, I often sit with them.
Oh, I like that photo too.
Yeah, my theatrical look.
Is this the first one?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
my. See, typically when you get your headshots done, you have a commercial look, which is like bright, smiley, often in color. And the color is the standard now, and then you have your dramatic, brooding look, because you want serious theater work.
Yeah. What would Keanu do?
Hopefully, Keanu wouldn't do much of it. No, I shouldn't say that.
Cool. All right. And so then you've also.
Yeah, on my Facebook page, I do that to keep in touch with people who are interested in my projects. I also do that to keep in touch with other actors in the Bay Area. Actors often share information about what shows are good, what shows are bad, what shows or to stay away from. You know, people come to talent for good reasons, for other reasons, and sometimes people who are just not as organized in treating their talent. But it is a community, so.
That is good. That's
Actor
a good
Brian
thing.
Myers Cooper, he was great. He came and gave a free acting class to people interested in acting and singing. He was on the road for 5 years with the national cast for Miss Saigon, and just as an act of generosity, because he wanted to, and my teacher invited him. He came in. He generated a class for us, a class that anywhere else would cost hundreds of dollars to attend.
And this was at City College.
And that was at City College. My alma mater is actually San Francisco State University, but 2.5 years ago, I started going to City as a declared theater major, and I just love the singing and acting classes that I get out of City by highly overqualified talent and teachers, and just a real care for instruction, which is oddly enough in contrast with, like you saw the scandal recently about Phoenix University, which receives government money for students, and they're producing substandard degrees, degrees that do not meet the minimum requirements. And yet City College, which is the 4th largest community college in the country, is somehow is on the hook for trying to defend themselves, and yet they consistently produce students that have a high degree of skill, yet when the students come to them, they come to them underserved, with poor, or they're underserved in their education, and City works with them and turns them out. So I use, for me, City College is my job training as a performer.
Yeah, I like that. I went to State for a while too. I'm not putting them down, but let's move on. I like this one right here. Is this a film you were?
That's a commercial by a friend of mine, Josh. Josh,
we play it?
you
How
go
long
ahead
is
and play
it?
it. It's only about 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, play it.
Yeah, I want to see it. Okay. It's the one right here.
That's the one.
Okay. So, we won't be talking, you'll be hearing what's going on.
Your workforce is hungry. Hungry for advancement, training, and certifications. 40% of employees leave in the first year because of a lack of training. So retain your workforce now. Keep them educated and verify their knowledge with CompTIA. Now available at traintestcert.com.
Perfect. I know someone in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, stop it, Jennifer. Yes, I do. I am acquainted with someone who's in that.
Yes. Well, Josh Gillick directed that, and he actually
Edna.
made that for his own company. Oh, you know Edna? Oh, she's
Yes.
sweet. Yes.
I do.
Very sweet.
I'm acquainted with her. Yeah. That's so cool. That is really cool. I like that one. Dum-de-dum-dum. I'm trying to get us back together again, but
Yes.
that's okay. Continue on. That you have so much work already,
Well,
And,
I have that work because people took a chance on me. Susan Jackson over at City College cast me in a very good supporting role in her play last year, You Can't Take It With You. And Deborah Shaw for the Spring Musical cast me in the lead role. People take a chance on me, and so I do my darndest to deliver some good work.
yeah.
And it's just been fun. So all the more reason why I'll tell almost anyone that will sit down with me for a few minutes that it's really important for the citizens of San Francisco to support City College, because the problems that the school and the students are encountering are not problems that the school or the students deserve. It's been actions of a private committee that is not elected, that has no oversight, and the administration to subvert what the voters of San Francisco have given to the school. The voters of San Francisco have said twice in the last 10 years that we need a performing arts center, a building to replace the buildings that are over 50 years old.
Yes.
We've already collected the money. We've taxed ourselves to pay for that building. The building is ready to go, shovel ready. The money is there, and the administration is sitting on the funds. Because at a certain point, if they wait long enough, it'll be like letting a patient bleed out. It's too late to do anything with the money because the costs go up every time you wait, every day that you wait. So people should be contacting their representatives and saying, why is there this bait and switch with our tax dollars? And why is an organization of private citizens that has nothing to do with City College, why do they have the say of whether this building gets built or not? The voters have already said, build the building.
Yeah. Oh, I think a lot of people come to San Francisco because of City College. People from all over the world, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a very international place, I think.
And it's a great place for the arts. There's another documentary out there called Bay Area Mavericks, which is a documentary about why certain filmmakers have eschewed Los Angeles and have set up their base here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from George Lucas to, there's many other directors. The director of the Gremlins, I just blanked out on his name.
Oh, that's okay.
But many people, many artists, many technicians have chosen San Francisco because this city, there's something special about the city. I know there's something special about every city, but there's something very special about San Francisco and the Bay Area that has people that are thinking not 5 years ahead, but 10 and 15 years ahead
Yes.
to develop new products, develop new ideas.
I wanted to. Yes, we love our city. Yay! Even though we have the most horrible summers.
Our summers are in October. Doesn't everyone know that? That's the time to go out to the beach, October, sometimes even November.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I wanted to ask you one question.
Sure.
About acting itself, because I think for a lot of people, this may be what keeps them from doing it. How do you remember your lines? What's the first thing you do about studying your lines and knowing what's next, or what's your style?
The first thing you have to do is sit down and read the script and not make up anything about the script. I mean, read it as if you were looking for the ingredients and baking something, and read each word. Sometimes the drive is, I'm going to start making things up about the character. Like, I'm going to add this and that. That there's a time for that.
Yeah.
But not when you first get the script. You need to read that script as if you're the dumbest person in the world. Maybe and you just have to figure out what it says.
Yeah.
Then, after you understand what it says, then you work on your rote memorization. Then you start figuring out where you want the character to be, where you want the character to come from. And then, of course, you start adding the blocking. If blocking is required, or whether you invent it or it's given to you, it's usually a combination. And then as you are building in that blocking, then the words just start to be an extension of your hands and feet and face.
Nice. That's really nice. I'm just checking on our
Sound is very important.
Our sound.
George Lucas
It's still
said
time
it was very
to.
important.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have 3 minutes to call in. 3 minutes to call in. The Improv Planet Glee. Yeah, we should have Deborah Shaw on the show.
Oh, I think it'd be great.
And some people from the class, because I'm definitely taking it this semester. I really want to. I can't wait. It was, I don't know. I think
it's
was
great
one of the best
because
things I did.
it really is instant community. That's how I met you, and it's actually odd. I came to the acting class after I had been doing commercial acting for 2 years. I took the classes after I was actually working, and the reason I was working is because I did the Landmark Forum in 2007.
What's that?
The Landmark Forum is a class on being effective, and I took it so I could be a better salesperson and administrator at my business. But because of the way the Landmark Forum works, once you are more effective, like tremendously, like have a breakthrough in being effective, you start to look for other areas of life where you could be effective, even areas that you didn't think you belonged. I didn't think about acting for 30 years, not since high school.
Huh.
Oh, here's a call.
Oh, yay.
We have about a minute to take that call.
Hello, you're on Planet Glee.
Hi, we have a question for Mr. Raphael Musny.
Okie doke, I think I recognize your voice, but I'm not sure. But go ahead. Don't mind me.
Oh, can we just make the question?
Yeah, what is it?
Did you have a question?
Hey, Raphael, how have you become such a good actor in the last couple of years?
This voice sounds familiar.
This voice sounds very familiar. I think this person's being paid. You know what? It really does come down to the work. I don't say that I'm a good actor. I just always try to learn my lines, work with the other actors, take my direction, and then look for opportunities to, bring solutions to whatever's going on. So in a commercial shoot, I try to see what the director wants or what the assistant director is, who's usually talking to me, what they want, and I try to bring the solutions or just memorize what it is that they are asking me for. Other than that, it's really just doing the homework, reading, research, paying attention to other plays, other actors. No, I think it's. Is this Neil Figurelli? The sound's a little distorted as it comes in through the pipeline. But,
It's over.
I think the show just
that was
ended.
cute.
That was good.
It's over.
Okay.
It goes by so fast.
It does. But we're gonna keep.
Dan from cinema.
I think it was Neil Figurelli from my old office. In fact, I'm gonna go see them in the office now. But
Oh, okay. Maybe they have
we keep
similar voice.
running, and then you compress the show, right? You're still taping?
Yeah.
So
I
what
told
are
them till 6:30.
great. So what other questions do you have? What could we contribute to the people that could be watching later? I mean, if there's anything I could offer to anyone, whether they're acting, I mean, I don't say I'm a great actor, and I've only been in the business like 4 years.
That's all.
Really, that's all. About 4, maybe 4.5. 2010.
Wow.
So, if you've even thought about it, go out and do it. I mean, you don't have to wait for permission. In fact, don't wait for. And here's the other thing: don't listen to your own consultation on it. Get an outside consultant about it, because you talk to any artist. It's the things that we tell ourselves, and we think it's judgment, or we think it's actually us thinking. That gets us in a lot of trouble. It's not a good thing to listen to that voice in our head. It's better to just be out there doing the work and allowing other people to contribute to you. Like even saying, was that a good take? And they say, yeah, that was a good take. Why don't you try this? Like, great. And just don't think that you did a bad one. Just go for the next one.
Yeah, right. Not have your ego all set on one thing.
Right.
You're really flexible. I noticed that, and that's good. I try to be, but I might not be as flexible as you are. So that's probably why. Yeah, that's really great advice. Is to just kind of let people tell you what you're doing.
Yeah. And the great thing about that is that you don't have to listen. I mean, listen to them, get what they are saying, but even though you get what they're saying and understand it and thank them for offering it to you, that doesn't mean that you need to do anything with it. You have to trust your own judgment. There's a song I'm working on right now for my music class. It's called "No One Is Alone," and it's from the musical, which I saw live when Bernadette Peters was the lead in it.
I like her.
Many, many, many years ago. But the one character is telling the other character, who's now lost her husband, and so there's no way to repair the damage that's been done in this fairy tale. He said, look, you're alone in the woods. No one's here to guide you, but you still have someone, me, who's a stranger,
Yes.
and you have to decide, you have to choose for yourself what is going to be your moral compass, what's going to be right for you, what's going to be wrong for you. That doesn't mean you have to do it alone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So how does the song go? You're gonna sing a little
No,
bit?
no, I'm still working on it. Even building a song, there's a process. I mean, it's so easy to just want to leap into, and because you think you know the song, but my instruction from my voice instructors is to always break the song down to lyrics. Just know the lyrics as a poem. Know it as a poem. Then work on the beat of the song, the rhythm and the beat, the note values, like how long the notes are. Then work on just the notes of the song. Sing the song on one vowel, two vowels, three
Right.
vowels.
Uh-huh.
And then eventually start adding adding all those things together. And they literally break it down into 15 separate steps into singing a song.
That is yeah. That's a little academic, I think, but I think yeah. I've only taken a few classes in singing, and that what you're saying, I like it. I'd like to try it. It sounds difficult, just because a lot of things that are academic are more difficult because they do require. It's like a test. Say you've had your final exam, okay, and the teacher's like looking at how you've sung this phrase, and how you've leapt into the chorus and all that, and breaking it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but acting is one of them.
Yeah.
There's specific coaching on acting through the song that is given to students, and it's very important to do that work. However, that work, the acting of the song, is independent of the song, and you still have to master all the other aspects of the song.
Right. You're, like how your body language and all that.
Body language, your character. The
Yeah.
character that sings the song might be, I don't know, a 50-year-old guy.
Okay.
But the character that you create to express the song might be a 10-year-old boy.
Cool.
And that all fits. And there's a song that I do that is exactly that, almost like Being in Love from the musical Brigadoon. And I was doing the song okay, just fine, like technically it was fine. And then someone gave me the coaching. Pretend you're singing it and you're a 10-year-old boy and you just are telling your grandpa that you discovered something out in the field, and the song just started living for me from that moment. The song just came alive. So, and when I sing that song now, I am as excited as I was when I was a 10-year-old boy on my grandfather's farm in Oregon, or maybe driving a tractor or going through the field, and it's great. It's just the performing arts, in a way, is a way to stay eternally young. Not faking it, but just being connected with all the beings that you have been and all the beings that you could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Maybe you haven't been that, but you could be that. It's a world of possibilities, which brings me back to the Landmark Forum. That's why I didn't take the class for that reason. I didn't take that course for that reason, but that's the course that opened me up to the fact that anything is possible.
The Landmark Forum, you said?
The Landmark Forum.
How does someone get into that?
You go to 75 Broadway and you sign up and you pay the registration fee, just like if you were to take a class at City College. But the great thing about the Landmark Forum is that although it's delivered in 3.5 days, unlike the technical nature of many other kinds of coursework, like singing, if you don't continue it, it tends to degenerate. Maybe you picked up enough of the skills that you can, but anything that you learn, like you read, it tends to degenerate.
What do you mean? I don't get that.
Well, because if you start to forget things, if anything that you've trained to do, if you practice it consistently and continually, it tends to stay with you. But most things, if you don't use it, it degenerates, or if it's highly technical in nature and needs constant learning.
Yeah.
But the Landmark Forum is like riding a bike. You take it once, you do it once, you've got it. You've got it for the rest of your life, and you can point it in any direction that you want to.
And it's 3 days, 3 full days?
Three full days plus a Tuesday night. I did it at the recommendation of a dear friend of mine, and I've recommended it to just about all of my friends and several of my family members.
That's so nice. That's really good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It's a course on being effective in areas where you want to be effective, and seeing possibilities in areas of your life where you don't see possibilities.
Yeah.
no matter what you do or don't do about it, you
Yeah.
just don't see possibilities. You just don't see how you can achieve something in that area, whether it's love or finance or money. And I'm living proof that that course can work not only in the areas that you care about, it'll work in the areas that you haven't discovered that you care about.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it works. It works. It's a fun course, and I had better friendships as a result of it. I became a better administrator in my art gallery business, which I've since closed because the market was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not before our gallery sold some paintings to the SF MoMA. So when they reopen, I'm looking forward to seeing those paintings by a Filipino American artist from the 60s.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated. My auntie had a gallery in the 50s.
Here in the city?
Yeah.
Oh, where?
In the Grant Avenue area, and I mean, I never went there. I wasn't born yet, but she also lived in Indonesia, and she had a couple paintings which were like this size, couple of them, and oh, I wanted one so bad, really. One was a picture of two women, and one's combing the knits out of the other one's hair.
Oh, wow.
But it's so beautiful, and yeah, that's cool. That I haven't seen any Philippine art. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, this particular artist was actually a modern artist. So for
Yeah,
people who
even
like to make
better.
yeah for people who like to make jokes about modern art and say, well, that's a circle, I could have painted that, and you would look at Leo Valador's art and say you might have to agree with him, but he was the only one that was doing it. He was the only Filipino American that was doing it. He was the 7th member of a 6-member group that made it big in New York.
When?
Approximately 1967.
Okay.
1967.
Oh,
So
wow.
he was from San Francisco. That group reformed in New York, and they became one of the first artist cooperative. Actually, I believe they were the first artist cooperative in New York City. He became the 7th member because the 6 members who had pooled their resources could only afford $30 a month, and the rent on the top floor was $35. So they had to pull him in. So there was so Leo Valador was there, and after a number of years, he did return here to San Francisco, and he continued to work. Actually, in my neighborhood, the Mission before it becomes the Outer Mission.
Okay.
So, Leo Valador. So the MoMA now has 4 of his paintings.
I haven't been there in a while. I'm gonna check it out.
Oh, it's great. As soon as they reopen, right now they're doing major reconstruction. Yeah, so that's what I did with 6 years of my life.
You sold
I opened up
art.
yes, I had a business partner. We had an art gallery, and we sold to museums and collectors.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
it was
to
a,
know.
it was a wild ride.
I actually am one of the persons who would like to have 1 or 2 of my pieces bought. Yeah, I've been doing art since a little kid, but yeah, painting and assemblage. I've gotten into assemblage past 3 years.
Ah, yes.
I like it. Sculpture. Sculpture. I think I've sold more of than paintings.
I can see that because people often interact better with objects. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, but sometimes it's when it comes to modern art, it takes a certain amount of sophistication. You have to go through and study all the arts and learn something about them, and then at some point you realize, you know what, I need to move over to modern art. And so it's people who are already well steeped in the art world, and the same with music. You don't just accidentally fall into loving jazz. You actually kind of progress pop music, classical, onward and onward and onward, and then at some point you flip over to listening to serious jazz music. Except for me, I've always liked jazz music. Maybe it's because my grandfather taught music on the Oregon coast, so he taught music pretty much, I don't know, 5-6 decades. He taught music.
So are you playing instruments?
Just mine, just my voice. You know, and that's one thing singers talk about, that your body is your instrument. And it's great having come to music through acting, and to actually finally be connected to music, because it was the one thing, the one piece that had me be separated from my grandfather. Now, I had my grandfather, you know, for a good 40 plus years of my life. I was the oldest grandson, and I would spend summers with him on the farm in Oregon working. And he had taught all of his children music. All of his children could play one or two instruments, and they could play it quite well. My mother used to play boogie woogie blindfolded, right, as a teenager. Music, I tried taking piano lessons. It just didn't take. I got frustrated and upset with it, and I just stopped. And although, you know, my grandfather and I felt very close to him, I always felt that my lack of facility with music was something that he couldn't be proud of, right? It was the one thing that kept me separate from him. And he passed at the age of 103. I started doing acting about a good handful of years later, and then music a few years later than that. So I'm doing music now, and how I express myself through music when I'm singing a song, I actually feel closer now to my grandfather in the moment of a song, as a result of that. So
Right
the
on.
music did not skip this generation. I guess that's the point.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, and it's never too late to start.
Yeah.
It's never too late to start. You know Gilda Radner, right? Longtime girlfriend of the comedian Gene Wilder. And when she was terminal with cancer, she had about a year to live, and she knew it. He knew it. It was very sad for them. That was about the time. It was 1977. He shot Young Frankenstein with Mel Brooks. She had taken up music lessons, voice lessons, in the last year of her life. And I think about that as just being so brave, that, you know, death is coming, and yet she wants to develop herself still. And I'm like, that's perfect. That's inspiring.
And yes, and Planet Glee actually started in 2007, and there was a woman I knew who could play the drum, and she sang. She didn't perform that much, but she was with a group that played in Hayes Valley, and we knew that she had terminal cancer, and her name is Margarita Wildman, and so she came on Planet Glee, I think, 3 times, and in 2008, and just to see her read her poems, knowing that the pain, that was the hardest thing to watch with her, was the pain that she was going through at the very, toward the few months at the end. If people knew what that was really like and could view how the body changes and stuff, they would really try harder.
Well,
to avoid
art
cancer.
art is life-saving. I mean, people often talk about, when they're talking about what they're dealing with, they're saying, well, I'm just trying to survive, whether it's like keeping up with their bills or just working. And I say survival is not enough. Survival is not a sufficient reason to actually be on the planet. It's not a justification for being on the planet. You have to do something greater than that, whether it's helping people or creating art. And it's been proven that the practice of art, not that the end product is needed and necessary. There's only so many museums. There's only so many people that can purchase art. But the practice of art, whether it's performing arts or the visual arts, is life-giving, and it's life-saving, and it allows for community to develop. You're not going to like all art. That's okay, but I think it's absolutely necessary. So that's why I'm often disappointed when I'm not indiscriminate about art. There's good art and there's bad art. but it is not acceptable, especially in our country, to not have the technique of generating art, whether performing or visual, in our school system, in our higher education, in our grade school education. Those skills are necessary. They have been necessary for millennia. We can't just look at our current government or current politicians and say, well, we don't have this in the budget.
I totally agree.
It has to be in the budget.
Is this the landmark?
Yes, that's the blank notebook.
What's it called? The landmark?
It's the company is called Landmark Worldwide.
Landmark
The course is called the Landmark Forum.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a really fantastic course. It's been around since, in its early inception, it was around in the 70s. The company formally has been around since 1991. It's
Nice.
in about 20 countries. It's delivered in about a dozen languages. And no matter who you are or what walk of life you come from, you hail from, you will have a breakthrough as a result of that course. Do what you will with that. They don't tell you what to do. They just let you have the
check it
breakthrough.
out.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you about art. Art in the schools. It's the kids who I don't know. I think theater is one thing that has fallen to the wayside in the K-12 system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I think, because when I was in elementary school, we got to do. There were things that were like traditional. The 7th graders had to do a show for the 8th graders.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fun. I wrote the one that we did, and but when I got to high school, it was like, oh, I don't know. I just wanted to get out of there. So, but
No, I fully agree. Even or maybe even especially for people who will not pursue it as a call or vocation, should practice it, because the discipline of performance, whether it's performing a song, performing a speech, a monologue, a scene, all of those skills are essential in demonstrating leadership and demonstrating community. Plus, they give you the discipline to focus on something and bring it to fruition, bring it for an audience in a set amount of time.
yeah.
I don't find it accidental that the fracturing of time that many young people experience, or even people my age, because of our current means of communication, encourage the lack of discipline and paying attention to something like a text. You have to support that, not just with dollars and institutions, but even with your time. You have to pay attention. Thomas Jefferson wrote that people who love the arts are well disposed to support it. So it's if you were going to argue with Thomas Jefferson, go ahead and argue with him. But it would be inappropriate to say, I love the arts, but I'm not going to support it with my time or money or effort, or I'm only going to support it for this sect of people or this group of people or this age group. It has to be free and fundamental for everyone. But what do I know?
I like that idea. I do. So yeah, we'll put this on YouTube. 45 minutes is probably good enough.
You can edit anything you want out of it. Just keep it sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
My job is
so.
to keep just kicking the ball up, and then
Yeah. So I guess
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me again, and really loved it.
Yes, it went really well this time, and poopy-doo. I don't know why the graphics went away, but I like them.
That's okay. I actually kind of like not having the graphics
Right.
all the time. It's distracting, and it makes you
True.
not want to watch it. Your eye gets a little tired, weary.
Yeah.
But it looks like our sound levels were good, and not that I need to learn another thing, but boy, that looks like that would be fun to learn how to
Right.
control that panel. Run the.
It
pan-
is. You
run the
should try
show.
it.
Yeah. They have classes for that?
Oh yeah. If you don't even have to really take a class. You do, because this is a new board.
Mm.